Thursday. I am on my way to pick up Tim from dialysis and take him to the hospital. And the thing that I'm reflecting on right now is the space that we occupy. This topic's kind of been on my heart to speak about for a while, but I'm really mindful of it right now because he's leaving for 7 to 10 days to go to the hospital for another treatment. He's had a stem cell transplant for multiple myeloma, and now this is a trial treatment. It's kind of like CAR T cell, but not CAR T. We'll be meeting with the oncologist first, and then he should be admitted afterwards. So anyways, this topic of like the space that we occupy, I've kind of always been one of those people that didn't like to take up a lot of space. You can't see me, but my body size is not huge. And I feel like I've kind of like, I don't know, haven't wanted to take up a lot of room in the world. And yet, as I've gotten older, I've been more mindful of just how much space we do take up. We take up space whether we want to or not. We take up space because we live here on this planet. And we take up space in each other's lives. And I'm thinking of once upon a time I sent, like, for a gift, I gave Tim a gift to go to Italy for several weeks to study with, just study Italian and study cooking and farming and kind of all kinds of stuff. And we were at a juncture in our life as a married couple and just sort of trying to figure out next steps. And during that time, I was really feeling into the space that he takes up in our life as a couple and in our children's lives, in the lives of my family and friends, and was just really feeling that. I was just feeling like his absence during that time and feeling how, you know, if we were to shift directions for ourselves at that juncture, that there would be a huge void left without him there. That like when he's not physically present, that there's just this huge void. And I think feeling his absence in that void made me really also aware of like the void I leave when I don't show up. And yeah, even when he goes away to the hospital, like I still feel him. He's still around. His energy's still here. But when he almost died in the fall, I could feel him slipping into another realm. I could feel him not there. And it wasn't because he was sleeping. It was because he was gone. Like he was just like energetically withdrawn and gone. And that felt so different than if he were to just like be down in our basement asleep, or asleep on the couch, or asleep in his recliner chair. So I don't have like any huge revelations about this. It's just, I'm just aware. Like I'm aware that we take up space in one another's lives. People take up space in our lives. And I guess the question is like, are they taking up the space that we want them to take up? Because they're taking up space regardless, you know? Do we need to set parameters around that relationship? Are we mindful of like the ways that we take up space in other people's lives? And is it the kind of space that we want to take up? Or, I guess another question is like, are we mindful, period, that we do take up space? We all do, and that's like a huge privilege that we get to take up space here on this planet. We get to like take in air and take in the resources, the air and the water and the substance of the earth while we're here, you know. And then are we also mindful of like that part of like giving back, giving something in return? Like we take up space, but we also are in this symbiotic relationship, or we can be. And I think we can be all the more when we're conscious and mindful of it. So, you know, last night I was like cleaning up after dinner and wiping down the counters and just feeling the space that Tim used to take up in our family, which was like, he took up space, but he also gave back in certain ways, which were like making bread, rolling pasta, and just like he took up a lot of space in our kitchen. He filled a huge void in our kitchen. And now it feels, I feel the hole there. I feel like the vacuum. And I was thinking last night, like, oh, maybe I need to like find ways to fill that more, because I feel the void of it. I feel his absence. He used to get up in the mornings and would make me coffee and like get my lunch together and send me off to work. And sometimes I think that was like, I took that for granted. I was grateful for it. Like I was super grateful for it a lot, but I also know that I did take it for granted at times. And now there's a huge void, you know? It's like, oh, okay, I can make my coffee and I can do these things in the morning and it's totally fine. But I miss his presence in those different, you know, those different ways that he showed up before. I'm missing those, and I'm super grateful for them. And it's also having me reflect on like, how do I take up space in my girls' lives? What are the roles that I fill in their lives? And like, if I didn't fill those, what void would they feel? And while I have the opportunity, are there opportunities for me to also have conversations with other people to kind of line up for surrogates, or like other people to fill those voids if I ended up leaving one? I don't plan to. Like, I plan to be around for a long time, but I also know that like it's not really my say. So I don't know, that's kind of what I'm chewing on right now. So if you're still here, thanks for chewing on it with me, and I invite you to kind of reflect on what space you take up. What void would you leave if you didn't take up that space? Are you mindful of the fact that you take up space? And are you mindful of the space that other people take up in your life? Okay, that's all for today. Bye.